about 15 and think, what is going on? And so I was concerned about scaring other people.
Concerned about what?
Scaring other people that was right by. But very quickly it cranked up and sped towards me,
What did?
the vehicle. And I thought, oh gosh, they really did see me. But maybe they're going to ask me, is something wrong? Do you need help? And it stopped directly in front of my driveway on 64 on the highway. I couldn't see into the car. But it was Shirley still, because she rolled down the front window. I don't want to say it in front of my baby.
Did you recognize the vehicle? Did you recognize the driver?
Have to ask you, please, ma'am.
Yes. I did not recognize the vehicle. I've never seen it before.
But she rolled down the window. What else did she do?
She rolled down the window. And she said, I don't think I want my grandkids around you. You're crazy. I don't know how she found out that information. That was something we kept private in our family.
But she said all this and then did what?
Immediately, she went off. After she said what she had to say, she pulled off on the right side of the road. The right side would be the side my mailbox is on. And she turned the car around really quick, dipped into my driveway. So much of my driveway, from the road down into the driveway, is actually paved, like asphalt. So she actually dipped into the asphalt area and came back out to the grass on the other side of my mailbox, turned around, and then sped back towards the original direction she was going in, which would be back towards Goldwood.
So she completely turned around.
Yes.
What did you do?
I started heading back to the house.
You were walking?
Yes. Fast pace. I wasn't running.
And how were you holding a gun?
Like this.
Is it a heavy gun?
Not really. It doesn't kick. It's fairly lightweight.
It doesn't kick?
No.
When you're walking down the driveway, what were you doing? Where were you going?
Back to my home.
Because you seemed heavily, right? And you saw Shirley in the car. And this other person is headed away.
Yes.
Who did you see next?
About the halfway point down my driveway is that man-made swamp with that man-made ditch. And I call it the halfway mark. It may be a little more than halfway back to my house. I didn't make it that far. Heather Steele stepped down the tree line. I never saw her. I was walking back to the house. I never saw her in I never really thought to look to see if she was in the trees. I trusted that she kept moving. She'd gone.
But she came out.
She came straight out, got dead center in my driveway, started charging me.
How far away do you think you were from her when you saw her come out of the tree line?
I stopped, and my first instinct was, oh my God, I just stopped in my tracks. And it was about approximately 100 yards.
100 yards away, and then did she stop?
No, she never stopped.
Do you know how fast she was going?
But as fast as she came out of that tree line, she kept that same speed, marching straight towards me, straight down the middle of the driveway.
Did you say anything to her?
Yes,
What did you say?
I said, get on the ground. I've already called the cops, get on the ground.
Do you call her any time?
Now I just kept saying it over and over again.
Did she stop and get on the ground? Did you see?
She in fact told me to get on the ground. She said, B-I-T-C-H, you get on the ground. I'm gonna kill you. And the more I said, get on the ground, the cops run away, the more she would call me. S-L-U-T, B-I-T-C-H, she just cussed and made threats all the way through, nonstop, back to back.
How did you stop her?
I pulled the trigger.
When you pulled the trigger, how far away was she? Do you know?
She had traveled approximately 60-something yards. She was about 32 yards from me. I measured it out after the fact.
So you remember where she was and where you were. Did you have anything
I
on?
still have it flagged. After all this time, I still have the flags up.
What flag?
The investigation didn't have any flags, so I flagged it myself and measured.
So at 32 yards, how far is that? Can you estimate in here?
No, I'm not good at depth perception. I use a tape measure.
But depth perception, you're not? Why's that?
A medical disorder.
And what kind of medical disorder?
I was born with lattice degeneration. It's a birth defect. It affects the retinas of the eyes. I'm blind in my right eye.
So completely blind?
I can see color out of my right eye.
And what, could you tell if she had anything in her hand?
No, not initially. She had her hands tucked as she was charging. She wasn't trying to, hide anything. She just had her hands lightly tucked
Lightly tucked where?
behind her hips, near her lower back.
Do you recall what she was wearing?
Yes.
What was she wearing?
A pink tank top, a light pink tank top. And some sort of leggings with a black band at the top.
And what kind of, did you even see what kind of shoes she had on?
I didn't at the time, but I know now what she had on.
But at the time you didn't.
property now?
She is coming up the driveway. Right now, my daughter's freaking out.
Okay.
All right.
All righty, I'll have Deputy head that way.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
So that's you talking on the phone,
Yes.
and you're telling the 911 dispatcher that she's coming up your driveway. But she wasn't coming up your driveway, right?
No, I hadn't seen her at that point.
Okay,
When
well,
all my children was dead.
Talk about seeing it. You have your children, they're inside the house, you call law enforcement. How many guns do you have in the house with you?
At that moment,
Yes.
approximately 8.
That include the MP-15?
Yes, and AR-15.
Well, let's go ahead and dispense with that. This has been made safe, Your Honor. What is the model of this firearm?
MP-15.
Is this yours?
No.
Is this the gun that you had that day?
Yes,
This is Alan's gun, right?
correct.
You know why he bought it?
Because he likes guns.
So you have this gun and 7 more in the house?
Approximately.
Approximately. Maybe more. Maybe less. You're locked in your house with your children. Nobody's a danger to you. You go outside and you say, I see Heather running away from the house. She's going towards the logging trail. That's when you say that you realize the kids weren't imagining it. The kids were right. It was her. And that's when you say you hustled them back into the house. They all ran into you. And you told them, lock all the doors. Did you call 911 then?
No.
Instead, you left your children in the house, and you took this gun, loaded with this magazine, with that strap on it, and you walked outside and started firing off rounds into the air. Isn't that true?
Not immediately when I was in the house.
Not immediately. What did you do? How long did you wait?
I walked down to the beginning of the driveway.
Okay. So where is the first place that you fired the gun?
At the edge of the yard where the driveway begins in front of my house. I fired 5 to 7 shots in the air.
So on State's Exhibit 5, which is where they collected the shell casings from, there's 5 shell casings in that area. That's on the way out, correct? That's when you're walking out
Closer
towards the road.
To the house.
Right. But your direction of travel when you shoot off those 5 rounds is towards the road.
Yes.
Okay. And then you get down to the end of the driveway. And you start shooting again. How many times do you fire at the end of the driveway?
At the end, there's a Bradford pear, not quite at the end of the driveway. In that area, that was, I fired off another 5 to 7.
Okay. Well,
Maybe 6. Give or take. That's just the natural feel of pulling that trigger.
so at the Highway 64 end of the driveway, maybe not all the way at the end of the driveway, it's your testimony you fired 5 or 6 more times.
5 or 6, 5 to 7, yes.
Into the air?
Yes.
Not shooting at any cars?
No.
How many shell casings were found on that end of the driveway?
Not sure. possibly.
2. And then you start coming back up the driveway, walking up the driveway, still with this gun, still got plenty of rounds in it, and out of the wood line, either 69 or 100 yards away, comes Heather. She bends at the waist. She comes at you. Am I right so far?
She doesn't bend at the waist, that kind of sounds exaggerated.
Okay. She's bent at the waist. You described it. Okay. That's how she looked, and she's coming towards you. Is she running?
No,
How fast is she going?
I don't know her speed.
Is it a fast walk? Is it a slow walk?
A fast pace, almost like a march, fast.
March. Stomping her feet.
Yes.
And in your prior testimony, you would concede that you said she covered a distance of 63 yards to 39 yards, which is only 24 yards before you shot her. And she was 39 yards away when you shot her, correct?
No, the whole distance between the whole thing was approximately 100. I meant from where I was to where she came out